Good morning, Jim here, Lola here. Lola's a 9-month-old German Shepherd pup mix, and we've been here on our residency training program, and I wanted to put this video together, of course, to give you some things that you need to be able to do with her and let you see the things that she can do from you. You know, she's been here almost 9 days now, and she's got a good foundation to what she needs to do in life. The thing that you need to do is step up and try to become her leader. It's black and white. We don't want a lot of shades of gray right now. She needs to know what you mean, and you need to mean it when you tell her. If not, she's going to become a little maybe anxious or frustrated because she doesn't know what you're trying to tell her. So let's just be very basic. You know, if you ever need me, you just pick up the phone and call me, and we can work together on these things. Good girl. She was not in a sit command, so she can sit down. The one thing she can't do while we're standing here is pull me on a leash. This is perfect. If we're walking in a neighborhood and we stop to talk to someone, I might put her in a sit to begin with, but I don't like to keep dogs in sits very long because I worry about their back ends and their hips. So I would release her. And she could stand there, she could sit down, she could lay down, she could do whatever we want while I'm carrying a conversation on with my neighbor. Hope that makes sense. And then when we're ready to go, we would tell her to let's go, and we would start walking. Let's go is our walking command. She's to walk with us in the beginning, beside us, maybe a little bit behind us, but not in front of us. Remember what I've said in other videos. When she's out in front of us, she's subject to the wiles of the world, the distractions of the world, plus she is leading our walk. We don't want that now. One day, if you want her out in front of you, I have no problems. All I want you to do is between now and that day is become her leader so that she knows it. Listen to my tones of voice. Listen, look at the way I handle the leash. You see, I'm trying to keep slack in it at all times. If I have to bite her means the consequence. Watch what I do, okay, and how I do it. We're not here to intimidate. We're not here to dominate or hurt her in any way. We're just here to communicate just as another dog would do, a mom dog would with her puppies, when she's doing something we don't want and she knows we don't want it. Also note when I praise her, I'm going to praise her in the act of doing these things. It's very important that we praise her at least 20 times more during the day than we bite or provide a consequence. Right now, she's not in a command. Atta girl. So what message is she getting out of that? Man, it's okay for me to lay here and chill while Mr. Jim is talking to the video camera and talking to you guys right now? Yes. She is learning that being relaxed and not crazy as a loon, that makes us happy or making me happy in that moment. All right, so here we go. Let's go, baby. Come on. Come on. So you notice I didn't stop for her. If I'd have got to the end of the leash and she hadn't walked with me, I would have tapped the leash and told her no, and let's go again. In the beginning, I changed directions a little bit. That's just in the absolute beginning. And the reason I do that is to get our dog to focus on us. Good girl. When she's walking with us in the act, we let her know that we're happy. We can use treats. I don't mind using treats a little bit. I don't use treats a lot. I use treats all the time when I'm teaching a new command, teaching a trick. The come command, which I'll talk about in a minute, I'll use them a lot to let her know that I'm pleased with what's going on if she wants treats, if she's motivated by treats. But when I do give a treat, I will always give her good words and touch. I'll pet and love her. For example, break, sit, good girl, atta girl, good girl, good, break, let's go. That was an example of using treats. Good girl. So on our let's go, if she did not walk with me, I would tap the leash in the direction I wanted her to go, okay? So if she went that way, see how I'm tapping the leash? It's a little tap, a little release. Typically when I tap the leash, I always say no. I follow the no, good girl, with the command. And then I praise after the no and the command. Why? Because I want her to know that when she's doing what I want, that's what made me happy. The no didn't make me happy, then the good girl is the result of what she needed to do, okay? So let's go, the come command, the heel command, any movement command or any directional command where I'm getting her to move in a direction, if I have to tap the leash, that's a tap. I tap in the direction that we're heading in, okay? So tap and release. It's not pulling. When I pull the leash for a dog, I'm actually doing the work for them. When I tap, I'm making her have to use that brain. And if I've been consistent in the teaching, her use that brain and do what I asked her to do. That's another reason why I praise on the back end. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to go to the SIT command, and whenever I do the SIT, if she didn't do it, I would tap, not movement-wise, I would tap up. No, SIT. And then, good girl, I'd praise her at the end of it. My praise after a bite is never as good as if she did it right the first time, but it's important that we build her up and we're not sitting here nagging all the time, okay? Let's go. Watch my hand signal. Sit. Good girl. I'll reach in, give her a little pat. Sit means sit. Notice she didn't get up. When I tell her to sit, she has to hold that sit. I didn't say stay. I said sit, okay? She needs to stay there until I release her. Break. Good girl. That's my release for any command is sit, go to break. I could have gone to DOWN. I could have gone to let's go. You can go from any command to another command. She just has to understand it and go from there. Good girl, sweetheart. Let's go. Sit. Good. Good girl. DOWN from the side. Down. Good girl. And now she's in that down command. If she did not down for me then, I would have tapped the leash, guess what? Down towards the ground at about a 45-degree angle. No, down. When she's down, just as with sit, she has to stay in the down until I'm ready for her to do something else. Okay? Very important. In the sit command, I would never keep her in a sit command more than a minute, 2 minutes at the most. Down command, if I'm going to have her there for a couple of minutes or longer, I'll go and put my palm out and say stay. Okay? So, sit command, down from the side, stay, break. Break. Let's go. So I just broke my rule. I said if I used a stay command, I'd keep her there at least 2 minutes. Well, I don't want to stand around for 2 minutes on the video, so I took a little shortcut there. From in front, down. Good girl. Atta girl. Good girl. Notice I haven't been using a lot of treats. In the beginning, one of the biggest problems clients have, besides walking on a leash, is the come command. So many times we call our dogs to us when they're distracted by other things and they don't come. Well, what happened? They just learned that that word come means nothing, that there's nothing they have to do with it. So in the beginning with training, I will pay her big time for the come command, okay? I will give her a treat and a lot of love at the end of come, especially off leash, but on leash in the beginning, okay? When she does come to me, she's got to sit. On leash, off leash, I'll let you decide what she does. But she's got to come and sit. I'm going to give her a treat. I'm going to pet her. I'm going to love her. She's in a sit at the end of the come until I release her. I'm never, ever going to call her to me and punish her in any way. If she does something wrong and I need to provide some sort of consequence, I'm going to go get her, okay? But if she comes to me, I'm going to forget all about that consequence. I'm going to praise her for coming. I need her to want to come to me and to trust me for coming. It's not only about consequence. Say you had to go to work. I wouldn't have her come to me and when she came to me, hook her up and go carry her in. That's almost just like a consequence. Yes, it's not punishment, but it is something detrimental for her trusting you or me to come to us. Let's go. Come on, baby. Good girl. Come on. Atta girl, sit. So we're going to do the COME command right now. Good girl. Watch my hand. Come. She comes, she sits. Atta girl. Give her the treat. With my gloves, it's a little hard. And then I'll pat and love her. Atta girl. Good come. Good. Break. Let's go. That's a good girl. Good girl. So So now we have come, we have sit, we have down from the side, we have down in front, we have the stay command. Next we got the place command. Good old Libby is on the bed, but we're going to see if we can't get a place to happen anyway. Place is when we ask our dog, Lola in this case, to get on her bed. She can lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what she does as long as she stays on her bed. She can do that hours at a time, okay? Easily a couple hours. She's done it with us that long, okay? We put her into place. We stay. As soon as her fourth foot hits the bed, when we tell her to place, we praise her. Remember, lay down, sit down, stand up. I don't care. I'm not going to tell her to sit. I'm not going to tell her to down on that place command. Good girl. She can chew a bone if you like. Again, I just want her on the bed. Let's go. She's not going to probably do it with me, but if she did get up and go off the place command, I would grab the leash or grab her collar and I would use directionals. No, no, no. Back to the bed and then praise her when she got on the bed. My hand signal for the place command is a point. Let's go, baby. Come on. Place. Ah, girl. Good girl. That's a good girl. How sweet is that? That's such a good girl. You are too, Libby. This is Libby. Libby's about 14, 15 years old. She likes the bed too. Of course, I wouldn't do this if I didn't know that I couldn't trust her around the cats, but she's been working around the cats for 9 days now. She can hold it as long as we need to. Everything she's doing right now is fine. If she stood up in the beginning, as long as she didn't get off the bed, I'd probably tell her good girl so she'd know it was all right. If she decided to get in a sit, I'd tell her good girl as long as she stayed on the bed. Okay? Let's go, girl. Come on. Come on. See how I motivated her to come off? That's very important. Sit. Good girl. So next is the heel command. Let's go can be a short leash or it could be a long leash. The heel command is we have a little box beside us. It's our job and her job to try to stay in that box. We're walking, we're in the heel command. She's right beside us. When we stop, she sits. In the beginning, I don't do jump stops. I don't stop real quick. I do change directions from place to place to get her in the box, but I want her to understand what's going on. We get here, she should stop and sit with us. Hand signal is like this, like a forward motion. You ready, sweetheart? Heel. Good girl. See how she's staying right in? I stop. Good girl. Notice how I step off. She holds it. I could even go down, back into the command there, or heel. Right back. Come on up into the heel, sweetheart. Good job. Loose leash. Atta girl. She's doing real well. So how would I have consequenced that? If she's behind me on the heel, I'm going to try to motivate her with my voice to get up. If not, I would tap the leash towards me. If she started going out the box that way or that way, I would tap the leash lightly in the direction that I wanted her to go. The taps are nothing. You know, all we're trying to do is teach her the way dogs understand life. I tell people all the time when I talk to them on the phone, watch two dogs that like each other. They're not just sitting there talking, having a conversation. They are running, jumping, bumping, biting, posturing. They're being over 90% physical and a little bit audible. That's how we need to communicate with her. That's why we're praising and petting and loving. That's why we're biting lightly, okay? No, 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 sit. So that was good. She started to lay down while she was in the heel command. No, no, sit. Good. She can't do that. She can't lay down and sit. She has to sit to sit. So as a dog trainer, I noticed she was going down, so I started tapping her before she got down. And it was much easier to correct that way, okay? So we'll go right back, heel. That's such a good girl. I step off, see how she comes right back to the box? We stop. What a daggum good little dog. Good girl. Come. Good, let's go. Come on, baby. Last thing, or sort of maybe next to last thing, is the load up command. Why did I say sort of? Because you know Lola came to me for a lot of behavior problems. And we're going to address that in a minute, but one of them's getting up on the furniture. I don't like my dogs to get up. We're not in a command. I'm going to allow her to do that. If I had her in a sit just then, or a down, or a heel, and she started scratching, I would bite her. I would tell her no and go back and repeat whatever the command was. But I don't believe dogs should get on our furniture unless we invite them to do it, okay? Also want to teach them to load up into the car, for example. So we use a command to do that. I use the words huck or load up. Quite honestly, anybody out there could use any word that they wanted to do it. See, she's already heard it. But you notice she's not pulling me to get there. She went to the edge of the leash. Hup. Ah, girl. Good girl. Good girl. That's enough. Quit. Good girl. Thank you. Let's go. So I said that was next to last. Behaviors. And this is important again for anybody watching this video. We can't expect to stop a behavior if we allow it to happen when we're not present. Okay? Think about that. If you go to work and leave her out in the yard and she starts chewing up the siding, she's just gratifying herself, probably more boredom than anything, but she doesn't know that displeases us. When we come home, we get mad at them for chewing something up, and they have no idea. They think they're greeting you, and you just come home mad. That's not the way to be, okay? We have to let them know in the act of doing what we want, what pleases us. We also have to catch them in the act of doing things like chewing and digging, jumping up on the counter in the act that is something we don't like. I tell people all the time, if she does something that you like, put a name to it, and now you've got a new command. If she does something you don't like, be ready to bite it. How do you bite it? You bite it with the leash. You know, you bite it with the scruff. Again, we're not trying to hurt her. We can even use this little mini leash called the tab and set her up to do it. But if we can't watch her, where should she be? In the crate or a safe place where none of these things that drive us crazy can happen. Believe it or not, as we pile 30, 60, 90 days onto it and she's not allowed to continue the bad behavior, and all she's done is exposed to what pleases us, and we catch her in the act, it tends to go away. So important to be aware of that. Again, you know who I am. I'm Jim Hodges. My number is 336-945-3232. My website, jimhodgesdogtraining.com. Facebook is Jim Hodges Dog Training. Heck, you could even go to Amazon and type in Jim Hodges Dog Training in the search bar, and you'll see some of the things that I offer for my clients and for people all over the world. I really appreciate it. I'm always here to follow up. You know that. We've already talked about that. I care. I really do. It's a lot of fun to have a dog that's willing to do what you want in life. You know, I call it leader of the pack dog training. Another name would be real life dog training. We want what our dogs to do that makes us comfortable in life. Thank you again. Take care, and God bless. Bye-bye. Pray. What do we